the cameras flash. I mean, the confetti is still drifting through the air at the MCG.
The whole crowd just freezes.
And just like that, the perfect image of a sporting hero is, cemented in history. 1 minute, he's the dual Brownlow medalist, the family man, the king of Brisbane.
Yeah.
But then you cut to a few months later, and the silence is just deafening. The confetti's gone.
And he's standing in a driveway.
Totally defeated, moving boxes out of his dream home, while his wife posts 2 words that change absolutely everything. Unimaginable betrayal.
It really is the ultimate contrast, isn't it? You go from the highest high, that premiership glory, and then it shatters in real time into just the lowest low of personal destruction.
Yeah.
A deleted Instagram photo that somehow screams louder than a stadium of 100,000 people.
Welcome to StarScope Report. Join Jordan and Jamie as they uncover Hollywood drama, music industry shakeups, and viral influencer scandals.
From red carpet surprises to social media controversies, we dive deep into the stories behind the fame.
Today, we are taking a huge stack of sources. We've got tabloid reports, Instagram archives, even academic papers on religious history, and some very intense Reddit threads.
We're going deep.
We are. To uncover the story that has absolutely rocked the Australian sporting world. We're talking about AFL superstar Lachie Neale, his wife Jules, and the scandal with a best friend that has just spilled everywhere.
And look, I know what some of you might be thinking. I don't follow Australian rules football, but let me just put this in perspective for a second.
Please do.
Imagine if Tom Brady, at the absolute peak of his career, right after winning a Super Bowl, was caught in a huge scandal with Gisele's best friend.
Who lives down the road.
Who lived 3 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
That's the scale of the mess we're wading into today.
Exactly. This isn't just about sports. It's about trust, proximity, and some truly bizarre twists. We're talking Harry Potter code words and 19th century theology.
Yeah, that Mormon lie angle is what really pulled me in.
Yeah.
It turns what could be a standard cheating scandal into something that feels like a Netflix docuseries just waiting to happen.
Totally. But we have to start at the beginning with the brand, the family man brand.
Right.
So to understand the fall, you really have to understand the pedestal he was on. Lachie Neale wasn't, the bad boy of the league.
Not at all.
He was the wholesome archetype. He's been married to Jules since 2018. They moved across the entire country together from Perth to Brisbane.
Which is a huge deal in the AFL.
It is. They have 2 kids, Piper and Freddie. They were the power couple of the Brisbane Lion.
And they had literally just bought their forever home, a $2.43 million property.
That's not a rental you get for a season.
No, that is putting down roots. It's meant to signal stability forever.
Which brings us to December. Rumors start swirling that they're, quote, working through issues.
Ah, the classic playbook.
We've seen it 1,000 times, right? The vague PR statement, the agent leaking that it's a private matter.
The attempt to present a united front while they figure it all out behind closed doors.
Usually, yes. That's the standard celebrity crisis management. Deny, deflect, delay.
But Jules, she completely torched that playbook.
Oh, she really did. She posted a statement on Instagram that I think will go down in the Hall of Fame of celebrity breakups.
It's iconic.
She wrote, "I want to make it very clear that I am not working through anything. I have been betrayed in the most unimaginable way."
Okay, let's just pause on that phrase.
Right.
Unimaginable betrayal. I mean, words matter so much. She didn't say Lachie made a mistake
Or we grew apart, or even infidelity.
No. Unimaginable suggests a breach of trust so fundamental that it defies the logic of their entire relationship.
It implies the person she was sleeping next to was a total stranger.
And frankly, that the betrayal didn't just happen to her, but around her, involving people she trusted completely.
And the visuals backed it all up. We get these paparazzi photos of Lachie moving out, and he's not just carrying a gym bag.
No, he is moving kitchen utensils. He's moving shoes.
That detail really stuck with me. You don't take the toaster and the spatulas if you're just, taking a break for a week.
No way. You take the kitchenware when the home is completely broken. And Jules packing up the kids and moving all the way back to Perth.
That is a 4,000-kilometer statement.
It says, there is nothing left for me here.
So the internet immediately goes into detective mode. Who is the third person in this unimaginable scenario?
And this is where the story just gets so claustrophobic.
It turns out the other woman wasn't a fan. She wasn't some stranger he met at a bar.
No. He was in the wedding photos.
The woman is identified as Tess Crosley. She was Jules' best friend. And her husband, Ben Crosley, was mates with Lachie.
And we really need to talk about the geography here because it explains this pressure cooker environment.
Yes.
So we looked at the maps. They lived in Camp Hill.
Ugh.
The Neales lived in Seven Hills.
Which sounds like different suburbs, but...
It is literally a 3-minute drive. In Brisbane, that's practically the same street.
It's what people call the football bubble. These players train together, their wives hang out, their kids go to the same daycare.
It's an incredibly insular social ecosystem. So if you're having an affair with the neighbor, you're not sneaking across town. You're doing it in the tiny pockets of your daily life.
They spent holidays together, dinners, and they were all together celebrating that grand final win.
Ugh. There's that photo Tess posted, a whole carousel of images from the grand final. Everyone's smiling, arms around each other.
And the caption is just celebrating the win. And then there's the comment from Jules.
The comment that was deleted, but, the internet never forgets.
Jules wrote, "Take these down, you idiot. You're embarrassing yourself."
Wow. That is just visceral, calling her an idiot.
It's not just anger, it's pure contempt.
It completely breaks the fourth wall of celebrity composure. It's the kind of thing you text your sister, not post on a public platform for thousands to see.
It just shows how raw that wound was. But wait, because it gets worse.
Of course it does.
The fans started digging through old posts, and they found an interaction that has aged absolutely terribly. It's from a double date.
Oh, I saw this. It is painful to read now.
So Tess posts a photo of herself with the caption, "I solemnly swear I'm up to no good." Classic Harry Potter quote, right?
On the surface, sure. Pretty innocuous.
But Lachie's comment underneath, he replied, "Password, Dumbledore."
See, I have a slightly different take on this. At the time, I'm sure it just looked like nerdy banter. But in hindsight,
Oh, it's bad.
it looks like they were flaunting an inside joke right there in front of their spouses.
It's the brazenness of it. "I solemnly swear I'm up to no good." And he's just playing along.
It suggests a shared language, an intimacy that excluded Ben and Jules. It's what psychologists call micro-cheating.
Little public signals.
Yeah, these little signals that reinforce a bond that only the two of them understand. And honestly, it's just incredibly cringy.
Speaking of cringe, we have to talk about the social media clout. When the scandal broke, Tess didn't go dark right away.
No, her follower count it exploded from like 27,000 to over 60,000 overnight. And she kept the photos up at first.
That's the modern twist, isn't it? In the old days, the other woman would go into hiding.
But in the influencer age, scandal is currency. There was a definite vibe that she was enjoying the notoriety,
Yeah.
at least until the hate comments came overwhelming.
But this is where we need to stop and really dive deep. Because up until now, this is a standard, a messy but standard affair. But the whole reason we're here is the Mormon lie. And this is the part that has sent the internet down a rabbit hole of theology and history.
And this is where we need to be really careful and look at the actual source material because the internet is just running wild.
Right.
But the facts are these. Tess Crosley is a former Mormon LDS missionary. She served her mission in Perth, which is Jules' hometown, between 2015 and 2017.
And the internet sleuths on Reddit have just latched onto this background to try and explain the psychology of the affair. They're obsessing over these concepts of sealings and spiritual wifery.
Right. So I actually pulled the academic paper that everyone is vaguely referencing. It's by an academic named Lachie Neale, and it's all about polygamy and polyandry under Joseph Smith.
Okay, so break down polyandry for us, because I think most people only really know polygamy.
Polygamy is one man, multiple wives. Polyandry is one woman, multiple husbands.
Okay.
And in the early LDS church, Joseph Smith was sealed to women who were already civilly married to other men.
So they had two husbands.
Theologically, yeah. The paper explains that some of these were eternity-only sealings, meaning the woman stayed with her earthly husband for this life, but was sealed to the prophet for the afterlife.
But the lines were blurry.
Very blurry in some cases.
And the internet is drawing a parallel between this history and Tess Crosley.
The theory, and I really have to stress, this is a theory from internet forums,
Right.
is that coming from a high-control religious background with these historical precedents for secret marriages, it might warp your view of adultery.
It's the idea of the moral paradox,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's this idea that when you believe you're saved or chosen in some cosmic sense, your actions on earth can sometimes carry less moral weight, not more.
It creates a dissociation. So the argument is that she might not view herself as a homewrecker in the traditional sense, but as something else.
That's the spiritual wifery, theory that Reddit is pushing.
Hmm.
That maybe she justified it through a lens of we were meant to be together, or that her intense spiritual background made her more susceptible to secret, compartmentalized relationships.
I have to ask you, though, do you buy it? Or is this just the internet trying to demonize her with this stuff?
I think it's a bit of both. Look, lots of people leave the church and don't sleep with their best friend's husband.
Of course.
Blaming it all on 19th century theology is a stretch.
Mm.
However, the secrecy aspect, the ability to lead a double life while presenting a perfect, smiling face to the world, that is a skill that is often honed in high-pressure religious environments where appearance is everything.
It definitely adds a layer of, like, cultish intrigue that you just don't get with normal celebrity gossip.
And the fans are ruthless with it. I saw threads where people are analyzing the eye shapes of the children.
Oh, that's the dark side of this stuff. They're zooming in on photos of Tess's child and comparing them to Lachie, speculating on paternity. It's so invasive.
But it shows you, once you introduce this idea of a secret life, people start to question absolutely everything.
If you're loving this deep dive into the psychology of scandal, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got even crazier stories ahead that you won't want to miss.
Okay, we've gone down the rabbit hole of theology, which is heavy.
It is.
But while the internet is analyzing history books, the real world is throwing up coincidences that are almost too stupid to be true. We have to talk about the collateral damage.
And the comedic timing of the universe.
You mean the horse?
I mean the horse. Lachie Neale owns a share in a racehorse, and I need you to tell the listeners the name of this horse.
You cannot make this stuff up. The horse is named Two-Time Charlie.
Two-Time Charlie. And the best part, it won a race right as this whole scandal was exploding.
The jokes just write themselves. It's a PR nightmare. You've got allegations of cheating, literally two-timing, and your horse is crossing the finish line with the commentators screaming that name.
It's almost like the universe is trolling him.
It really is. And then there's the other husband, Ben Crosley.
The gym bro, the forgotten man in this whole saga.
While Jules is moving across the country and Lachie is facing the media, Ben was spotted in Bali.
Of course he was.
At a place called Bamboo Fitness on a boys' trip. And honestly, the contrast is just so stark. You see the wreckage of two families, and then you see Ben, shirtless, lifting weights in Uluwatu.
He did manage to give a quote to reporters, though. 6 words.
Confirmed the couple are no longer living together.
That's it. No defense of his wife, no anger at his friend, just a confirmation of facts.
It feels so disconnected, like I am removing myself from the blast zone. I'm going to lift heavy things in a warm climate till the dust settles.
It's a coping mechanism, sure. But it really highlights how isolated Jules was in her grief. She was the only one really screaming about the injustice of it all.
And it might not be the first time she's had to deal with this. We have to touch on the Vegas rumors that have been floating around.
This is important context for the pattern of behavior argument.
Yeah, there have been these long-standing rumors, and again, these are unverified, from Blind Items and Reddit about a previous trip to Las Vegas.
The story goes that Lachie allegedly sent a message meant for a boys' group chat to Jules instead.
Allegedly detailing some indiscretions. And it's a big if, but if that is true, it changes the lens on the unimaginable betrayal.
Right.
It suggests maybe Jules had forgiven him before. Maybe she had tried to make it work for the family, for the brand. Hence the rumors in December they were working through things.
But betraying her with the woman she stood next to in photos, the woman who lived 3 minutes away, that was the breaking point.
That's the difference between a mistake and a humiliation. You can maybe forgive a drunken night in Vegas. You can't forget a systematic deception with your closest confidant. That dissolves your entire reality.
So where does that leave everyone now?
It's a fractured landscape. Jules is in Perth, and she has explicitly stated she is healing. She's controlling her own narrative now.
Good for her.
Lachie is in a Brisbane apartment, and the talk of the town is he's looking for a trade back to a WA team, just to be near his kids.
Which would be a massive bombshell for the league.
Huge. And Tess, she just celebrated her 30th birthday in Adelaide. She posted photos saying turned 30 on the weekend, trying to pivot back to influencer mode.
But the comments were turned off. I saw that.
Comments off. Husband nowhere to be seen. She's trying to maintain the lifestyle brand, but the foundation has just crumbled.
It really is a modern tragedy, wrapped up in the glossy packaging of a soap opera. The family man brand is destroyed, the best friend trust broken, and you have a saga involving football, Harry Potter, Mormon history, and a horse named Two-Time Charlie.
It leaves you with a final question. Can his career recover? We've seen athletes bounce back from cheating scandals before, But a scandal that destroyed two families with this level of betrayal.
That leaves a mark that a premiership medal can't just wash off. And more importantly, can you ever really know the people closest to you? That's the thought that sticks with me after this one.
It's a chilling thought.
You've been listening to StarScope Report, where Jordan and Jamie uncover the stories shaping Hollywood, music, and pop culture. Thanks for tuning in.
And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that keep the stars shining.